Hey, good morning, Dunedin. I'm Heather Gracy, candidate for mayor, and today is one of the most beautiful Saturdays we had in a while. So let me see some thumbs up or some comments, please, on your gratitude for the sun. I have missed it. Being an outdoorsy gal, I am in heaven today. That means I can come knock on some doors, visit some neighbors who are finally going to be outside, enjoying a really beautiful Saturday in Dunedin. So what I wanted to do this morning is to get back with you and catch you up if you've missed. And it's really my job to let you know what is going on in City Hall. So we had a couple meetings. We had 3 meetings this week. On Tuesday we had a work session. Normally we have those on Tuesdays. And we talked about, among other things, the Curlew Water Tower Project. So this is right on Curlew Road, just south of the Publix there. And it's a really appealing project, and I want to talk first about why it was needed and then how it's getting funded. We talked about this in the budget and moving up to that in the utility of the water department. So remember, our water is the one thing that we sell in Dunedin, and our water is under the utility fund. So we had enough budget capacity within that utility fund to paint and rehab the water tower. It's 1 million gallons of reclaimed water. So in painting and making sure that is rehabbed both inside and out with paint, we also added a few dollars for a call to artists. What it yielded was fantastic. It yielded 2 sea turtles coming out of some eggs, and their names coincidentally are Henry and Sylvia. And I'll go back and drop in these images, but what that does is it ties some very important people from our past. Henry Shearer from Caladesi, our first pioneer, Caladesi Island. It will be depicted in a sea turtle, as well as Sylvia Earle, who is our resident famous marine biologist. Superwoman extraordinaire is going to be depicted in another sea turtle. And that's for everybody to see. Everybody coming west, traveling north or south, or coming from the water. Boaters alike can see this. So I just couldn't anticipate my excitement for it. And I ran it through my 3 eggs, right? My 3 daughters, and all of them had such grins on their face. They're going to be the ones, our kids, they're going to be the ones watching this for a while, looking at it, and it's going to be their beacon. So the call from history there to protect what is so important to us as Floridians, as Dunedinites here, are those sea turtles. And I think it's just a terrific wrap-up of everything we could expect. The artist is from St. Petersburg. I believe his name is Mr. Tom Stovall. He's very credentialed from what I could see. And our advisory committees are in love with this project. The Dunedin Golf Club signed off on what it would look like. They're anticipating the same excitement. So knowing that that is a type of project that is funded the right way, it was planned for, and it's grown from the bottom up. That's a terrific community project, and one that I'm very, very proud to support. So I can't wait for you all to see those images if you have not already. Do take a look. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. And it really does help us define Dunedin's quality of life. So moving on to the second topic I thought you might have some interest in, and this comes from our Community Redevelopment Agency. It's a CRA meeting. That was on Thursday. And among other things with the budget with the CRA, we did talk about an exciting project that has to do with autonomous vehicles. Now, I'm a director on the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority, and this is one of our priorities, is to have multiple ways of transit for our community, for our county, in fact. So what this project will do in Dunedin is bring an autonomous vehicle. Currently, I think the name of the vendor is Beep, B-E-E-P. I think they're out of the Orlando area, like Nona, and it would serve the TD Ballpark. So during next year's spring training, this is in 2021, we could possibly have an autonomous vehicle being tested from Douglas straight down. and the end routes being considered right now. We did talk about that in the meeting. That is something we are looking at, especially for safety. I've asked for the Disability Advisory Committee to weigh in on that. Remember, electric vehicles are wonderful. They're also silent, so that does cause, that could cause some conflict, and we want to make sure that the ADA is well informed and all of those procedures are well in place for the safety of everybody around. It is an exciting time, and PSTA is a hub of innovation. So taking some of their funding and working in conjunction with them for an autonomous vehicle test, something that we're all talking about and looking forward to and delivering for Dunedin next spring. So do stay tuned for that, and let me know what kind of safety concerns you have. I did find out there is an attendant on that shuttle, and they do have a brake, so they can pump the brakes. I can verify that. So moving on and talking about pumping brakes, let's talk about the budget, because we had the final budget hearing on Thursday night. And as I did in the first round, I said no to this one too. For various reasons. I did list some very specific reasons having to do with plans and studies and consultants. I think all of those things are things that can and certainly should be cut. We have professional staff who I know can do a lot of this job. It's a heavy lift, but that's what we expect from them. The capital budget continues to worry me, and again, that is based on the commitment of the funds that we have going to a city hall project that I'm not sure we can afford, and the general impact of the funds, state revenue, penny for Pinellas, all these things greatly impacted. Leaves me for some concern. And then finally, my concern, which I did voice again among my colleagues and among the commission, was how are we planning to make sure we can cover the costs in the next year and the following year? These budgets are planning documents, and so as we plan, we have to make sure that we're spending less. We did take in a lot more this year, and you've seen that in the newspaper. You've seen that through our millage rate. It did stay the same. We did not raise that rate. That does not mean, however, that your taxes won't go up. Property appreciates, and so that millage rate has to do with that property appreciation. And yes, a few more dollars you will be writing on your tax bill. Some folks do want to call that a tax increase, and I will not disagree whatsoever. If you're paying more, that is an increase. What I want to get to is a rollback rate. I don't know that we can with the deficit that we have. What I want to get to is maintaining that 4.1 rate. We have lived within that rate for many years. We should be able to continue to live within that rate. That's what I want to start discussing. The future is in our hands, you guys. And so looking at the projects that we have planned, I value the people a whole lot more than some of the projects. A lot of them can wait. And so that was what I was asking in terms of affordability and in terms of financial overextension. I fear some financial overextension. And how we forecast that, that's up to us, folks. So let me know your comments. If you have a chance to watch the meeting, appreciate you do that too. But otherwise, it is such a beautiful day out here. The wind is picking up. I do hear there's some boats in the background. I'm excited to go check in on now that the marina's back open. So you guys have a